Today marks another day, the 26th of June 2019. If you are watching us live through our Facebook page, Twitter, and YouTube, thanks, and always continue to view us online on SLBC Sierra Leone, SLBC Kailon Sierra Leone. And I am Joseph Kene, presenting this program, Accountability Forum. Our wise word for today is from Chinua Achebe, and it says, "Who brings cola brings life." And so, B.W. Bokari from the Strategic Unit Outreach from the Ministry of Information and Communication in Sierra Leone. Since the people of Sierra Leone elected the president of Sierra Leone, retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, it's over 1 year now. What are some of his success stories as a government?
Yeah, thank you very much. And once more, viewers, welcome to this program. I think, first of all, I must thank the management and staff of SLBC Kailon for this initiative, having programs online. And I think I must be one of the luckiest among the studio guests to be here with you. First of all, His Excellency retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, briefly, you remember during his campaign days, he encouraged the people to give him the mandate to rule. And during those moments, he promised to address a series of problems that were within the country. But one thing he made clear was that it was going to be something collectively, addressing the issues collectively. And since he was given the mandate, one of the biggest problems that really faced the country was that the new administration met a broken economy, and a series of problems were attached to a bad economy, and the first step was revenue mobilization, domestic revenue mobilization, and that one was done, and through the help of NRA, a lot of funds have been able to, to be accumulated, and the single treasury account became functional, because before now we had a series of government, expenditure, series of accounts in the name of the government. This time around, instead of spending through having so many sources of spending money, so government decided to operate the single treasury account where all funds relating to government activities were to be placed. And
But yet still, as you are talking about the achievement made so far from the side of the government, but yet still people are crying, and critics out there are saying the government hasn't done anything yet.
Well, it depends on the individual you meet in the streets, really, because everybody has a right to his or her opinion. It depends on that. But if you look at the magnitude of the problem that this government really found, I mean, Rome was not built in a day. You cannot plant today and expect, yield tomorrow. It has to take some time. But so far, the policies being implemented by the government shows that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
A lot of critics are saying this government hasn't done anything yet.
Perhaps we first of all think of what really led to the issue of the ground being dried, and what caused that. It's massive corruption. Quote unquote, fit-for spending, massive corruption. One individual will take the people's money, siphon them into their personal accounts and all the rest. So as a result, I mean, one way the government is trying to address that is to ensure that the people's money are brought back.
So, take us through the Commission of Inquiry.
Well, the Commission of Inquiry is one of the steps. You remember he promised fighting corruption, tooth and nail. But again, to fight corruption is not a single man's business. It's a collective effort. But he promised that, and we see something is being done to actually address that issue. First of all, the ECC is still working. When the government came, His Excellency retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio made sure that the leeway is given, the freedom and the support, the political will is there to ensure that the ACC continues to work.
with all the fight against corruption, will the government of Sierra Leone be able to end corruption in Sierra Leone?
What we have in mind, or what the government has in mind really at the moment, it's not easy to fight corruption. First of all, you must realize that. It's not easy. The government will go all out to ensure that at least corruption is minimized in this country. Right? Because it's going to a certain level that, I mean, it has been gone to a certain level where a lot of things have gone bad in this country. You know, corruption has eaten into the fabrics of the national development in this country for far too long. And like most other African countries like Tanzania and the others, you'll hear of Magufuli, you know, sacking about 10,000 workers, you know, because of fake documents. These are all corrupt practices, you know. So to ensure that the system is clean and to make sure that monies meant for the people are properly used.
So finally, B.W. Bokari from the outreach wing strategic of the Ministry of Information and Communication. You are in Kailong district, the east part of Sierra Leone, and you will be leaving this part of the country back to the capital city of Freetown. What will be your parting message to viewers watching at you right here in Kailong, in our studio, SLBC Kailong?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think we will continue to appeal to people to continue to exercise patience with this government, because there are lots and lots of problems to be solved. First of all, one of the biggest successes, first of all, will be the introduction of the free quality education. That one is ongoing. You know, streamlining the fiscal policies of this nation. You know, single treasury accounts. You know, revenue mobilization. And now we are now working towards, in fact, rebranding the image of Sierra Leone to the outsider. His Excellency has made several strides to ensure that that picture that used to come about Sierra Leone is no longer the picture. Sierra Leone being known for war, instability, corruption, and all the rest. He has worked so hard to ensure that it doesn't continue that way. And that's the reason why we are also seeing the international community cooperating with government now. Before now, about 9 months, even a year before the elections, last elections, the international community had turned its back on Sierra Leone because of a series of corruption practices, you know, corrupt practices and other, you know, failures on the part of the then government to ensure that things work well in this country. But now, the image of this country has been rebranded by His Excellency. You remember the series of visits he has made abroad? You remember his visit to the UN, his last visit to the Investors Conference in the UK. And we now see the International Monetary Fund is impressed with the fiscal policies of this nation. So they're now coming back to help us rebrand, to help us you know, reshape our economy. Remember, this is an economy that is still under struggle, you know, because we do not have the mines working. You understand? We do not have the iron ore moving out. We do not have what we call it, the gold. You know, those mining companies that were here had folded up, and that's the only source that government really depended on. This time around, His Excellency has decided to diversify the economy. One in the area of tourism, agriculture, you name it, and that's exactly what is happening.
All right, B.W. Bokari, thank you very much for having you in the studio. Welcome, and thank you very much for us to host you here in Kailong in our studio, SLBC Kailong. He is B.W. Bokari from the Outreach Strategic Communication Unit and from the Ministry of Information and Communication in Sierra Leone. Thanks very much and welcome.
Thank you. You're welcome.